Back in 1995, I designed the first modular plastic end frame steel tube shoe rack. I wanted something that would hold everything. Shoe boxes, flip-flops, dress shoes, sports shoes, ladies' heels. And at the time, the best-selling shoe rack on the market was one that stored shoes vertically, parallel to the door. I wanted something with a little higher volume. This is a classic shoe rack which has been around since the 50s. It's a design I'd hoped to improve upon. I think I did. This shoe rack is strong. It's got steel tubes, wire lasts they're called, which are forms that you have to physically thread the shoe on. It's okay. Do you store your shoes like this or like this? It's not as tight. Flip-flops are problematic. You try to put them on and they go right through. And shoe boxes, well, forget about it. They're just not going to be able to store shoe boxes. Inherently, the design is flawed because the shoes are parallel to the door and not perpendicular to it. Okay, I just bought this one today from a mass market retailer. It's basically a variation of my 15-year-old design. Now, it does hold shoe boxes, it holds flip-flops and women's heels, but you can only see the back of your shoe. You certainly can't adjust the shelf height, and you can't adjust or pivot the angle of the shelf. And this is a rack, the Overdoor shoe rack I'm touting as the Overdoor shoe rack of the 21st century. It takes a lot of the classic rack of the 1950s construction techniques and gives it a huge update too. Instead of just having steel tubes that have one position, I've got many vertical positions that you can lock the shelves in place. Instead of having wire forms, I actually have wire shelves. Now these are adjustable height-wise, so for flip-flops you don't need a lot of space in between the shelves and they just slide right in. For shoe boxes, obviously you want the shelf to angle down towards the door so gravity keeps those boxes and flats in place. Now for heels, you pivot it going down and then you see the fronts of your dress shoes, which I think most women would like to see. And if you go further down, you can have the tallest boots in the whole wide world and they're fine. You just skip a certain amount of the sections to give yourself the freedom and the space. It's steel tube construction is going to last you decades, and it's such a pleasure to use over a rack that you actually have to thread things onto. It's just an easier solution to an everyday life problem.